What is going on, guys? It is Laker Nation all day. You know how we do in here. It's all about us. And the Lakers won their fourth straight game by defeating the Atlanta Hawks. Perfect game. Perfect game. Great win. Everyone contributed in a huge way. And for this Laker team to win four straight, it sets the tone for the rest of the season. This Laker team should be feared. It doesn't matter what seed they are. I think they have proven that they are capable of beating any team. We've seen this team against title contenders like the Warriors, the Suns. They've competed against those teams, even though they didn't win, right? Situations occurred and the Lakers just could not win. But as the wins keep on piling up, as this team gets more together in terms of chemistry, this team is just coming together at the right time, and this team is just real dangerous. But let me go over the specifics of the game because there's a lot to get into. But it was just a great win, man. Let me start off with Malik Monk. Okay. All the media outlets, they're going to talk about how great LeBron was. And listen, he was great, no doubt. But Malik Monk set the tone. 27 points so far on 7 out of 11 from the three-point line. I mean, talk about a guy. I've said it from day one when we signed Malik Monk. Go back to my videos. You can see me talking about Malik Monk, talking about how he could be our future shooting guard. Really someone that we could rely on in terms of giving us an offensive spark. He has the mid-range, the three-point shot, the ability to drive in, the ability to defend as well. I think he did a pretty good job defending Trae Young, if you ask me. And just overall, he got us rolling. 27 points. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to expect this every game from him, but the fact that Malik Monk has been averaging 22 plus in the last 6 or 7 games just goes to show you what kind of player he can be. And he's only 23. Just put that into perspective a little bit, that he's only 23. He has this kind of attitude, this kind of swagger to him. And when you think about a young guy like Malik Monk or Kyle Kuzma or whatever the case is, the number one thing is confidence. Are you confident in yourself to make a shot? And Malik Monk just shoots it. He's not scared of the moment. He is not scared of the pressure. He is not scared of the pressure that comes along with being an LA Laker. And that is why he's succeeding. We've seen him get better every single year from year 1 to 3. I'm so glad he's on this team, man. Malik Monk is just something special. And I believe he is here to stay long term. He has a bright future ahead of him. That's all I'm going to say about that guy. Because without him, I don't know how well we'd be doing this season, to be honest with you. I'm not even sure if we win any of the 4 games without Malik Monk. Next play I want to talk about was LeBron. First 3 quarters, he didn't really do anything, just like last match, right? He kind of let the other players do their thing first, and then he did what he had to do in the fourth quarter. So far, 28 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. He plays tremendous defense when he chooses to. Once again, LeBron closing the deal when it matters most, and that was the fourth quarter. We saw it last game, right, where his first 3 quarters were not that great, but in the fourth quarter, he took over, and that's essentially what he did. 10 straight points from the King. And once again, one thing I'm very impressed at this year is his free throw shooting. He is shooting career numbers at the free throw line. And you're starting to see it's because he does the quick one dribble. He just shoots the ball without hesitation. And that's the kind of player he is. He doesn't want to overthink anything. And he just shoots at the free throw line as soon as possible. But talk about a guy. This is really the evolution of LeBron's game. You see that he doesn't have to be dominant. He doesn't have to be the primary ball handler. In this case, he could be the receiver. He could be the player who receives the ball and still is dominant in so many ways. His usage rate is down and he's still playing at an elite level. That's when you know the Lakers are utilizing him correctly. That's when you know LeBron, his career might be prolonged because of this. It's just amazing how LeBron at 37, it doesn't matter what position he plays. It doesn't matter what style he plays. He's always going to take over when it matters most. And to be honest, people call him LeChoke because of the fact they compare him to players like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. But the fact of the matter is that he is a clutch player, okay? He is clutch in his own ways. And just because he doesn't make the same highlights like maybe Jordan or Kobe did, he is still very clutch. And I don't want anyone to take that away from him. Another player I want to talk about was Avery Bradley. He was from our 2020 championship team. He didn't play with us in the bubble, but he was still a fantastic 3-and-D kind of guy. And what I like about Avery Bradley the most is just how he has that ability to shoot the mid-range. The mid-range is such an underrated shot nowadays because everyone just likes to jack up a bunch of threes. And that's what I don't like about today's league. But that's besides the point. Avery Bradley came out 16 points, just came out and set the tone, especially defensively. He was an aggressive defender on Trae Young, and although he did get into foul trouble, a couple of those were some BS calls, and we all know that because Avery Bradley is a fantastic defender. He's always been known for his defense. And you add someone like that to this team is just continuing to be more lethal as the days go, honestly. And then Russell Westbrook, man, I mean, 12 rebounds, 12 assists. He didn't necessarily have a good shooting night, 4-14. But he only had 3 turnovers. If you look at his plus minus, he's taken a significantly step back in terms of scoring the ball. But he's been a facilitator. He's been doing other things. Plus 22. That's the highest out of anyone in the entire game. That just goes to show Russell Westbrook's impact on the game. If he's not turning the ball over, he is doing an amazing job, because if you have a player like Russell Westbrook, we all know his ability to facilitate the ball. We all know his ability to score, right? To be aggressive. We know his ability to create double teams. But what I'm simply saying is, when you have that and you don't turn the ball over as much, that is a significant win for Russell Westbrook and the Lakers. You're starting to see the Lakers play more efficient basketball, turning the ball over less, right? They're getting by sometimes, but Russell Westbrook, by limiting his turnovers, by sacrificing a role in a sense, by essentially taking less shots, by essentially being less really just aggressive with the ball. He's choosing when to be aggressive. He's choosing how to facilitate the ball. He's just being smarter, and the Lakers are winning because of this. And honestly, you can look at his shooting numbers all you want, but the fact is, with him turning the ball less, it gives us more of an opportunity to win. And that's why Russell Westbrook has been doing a great job for us. I don't care what anybody says about his shooting numbers. And then Talen Horton-Tucker, man, another good game. I mean, we saw it last game where he scored 10 points straight. He had a great outing, 19 points, 4 rebounds or something of that sort. This game, 19 points so far, once again, 6 of 11 from the field. That included in the third quarter where he scored 10 straight points. I mean, Talen Horton-Tucker, I love what Frank Vogel's doing with the lineup. You see someone like Talen Horton-Tucker, you can't just insert him in the starting lineup and expect him to do great things, especially with the ball-dominant player like Westbrook or LeBron or whatever the case is. I love how Malik Monk's being utilized. I love how THT is being utilized, because THT is being able to handle the ball more and more with the occasional off-ball movement with LeBron having the ball. So this is the lineup I love seeing. Give Frank Vogel's credit. THT's been playing exceptional basketball in the past couple of games, so you just got to give it to him. And the last player I wanted to mention was just Austin Reeves. I know that the stats may not show it, but something about Austin Reeves, when he comes on the court, he just makes good things happen for the Lakers. You look at his plus minus, second highest of the team, even though he only had 2 points. It's very reminiscent of what Caruso used to do for us. He's not Caruso, but he just plays good basketball, smart basketball, just makes the right play. And you really got to give credit to a player like that, because he's not going to make flashy plays. He's not going to wow you for 20 points, 30 points, but he's just a solid IQ basketball player, and it's so important to have one of those, because you can play under control, you can play good, efficient basketball without turning the ball over, and I'm just glad. But this team's really starting to come together, okay? They're really starting to come together, and it's come to a point where the Lakers are starting to be better quality teams. Even though Atlanta's record suggests they're not necessarily a good team, they still have mostly the similar roster that they had when they made the conference finals last year. And we know what Trae Young did at Portland with 56 points and 14 assists, or whatever the case was. So to kind of limit him in terms of the damage that he dealt to us, defensively, what we did to the Hawks when it mattered most. I mean, when the Hawks have the second best offense in the league, when you limit them to 45.5% shooting from the field, you did a good job. This Laker team is starting to look better. They're 21-19 now, and as the games progress, they're going to start getting more wins. I predicted this would be a win for a reason, because I can see it. If you watch the games, there's better ball movement, there's better half-court offense, there's more of an identity. And this team is really starting to come together, and you're starting to see it, and it's just great things. And I'm just really excited. So that's all I have for this video, man. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like. Comment down below what your guys' thoughts were on the Lakers beating the Hawks for their 4th straight win, and subscribe for more. Alright, guys, peace out, and as always, go Lakers.